So you're tired of paying other digitizers to digitize your images for your customers, and you're losing all that profit, and you're finally fed up and you want to digitize for yourself, but you just don't know where to start. Well, good news, because you're on the right channel. Hey, my name is Anthony from Rocket Prince, and thanks for watching this video. On this channel, I provide you walkthrough tutorials from graphic design to digitizing images for heat pressing t-shirts and embroidery. Today, we're going to learn how to digitize, and the project for today is making a patch. We're going to take an image from Canva, and then we're going to go ahead and place it into Chroma software. Now, you don't have to have the same embroidery software that I do. All the features should be the same, and I'll walk you through that in this tutorial. Today, I'm going to walk you through step by step how to digitize from start to finish, and then we're going to see the final result. So stick around to the very end to get the full benefit to this tutorial. And with that, let's go ahead and get this started. Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. And today we're going to create a patch. So we're going to take this image that I found off of Canva right here. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and set up our canvas board. So I just hit custom size. And then for the width, we're going to type in 2.5 and the height 2.5 and change this to inches. Okay. I already have it pre-selected, so that's what I'm going to click on. And then from here, we're just going to drag and drop in our image. So from elements, and we are going to type in Aztec. Okay, we're going to look up graphics. Okay, and there is the image. And if you need to find it, just look up Aztec Warrior Skull Mascot, and there you'll find it. Okay, so I'm just going to click on that bad boy. And then we're just going to zoom this out. Okay. And just straighten it out in the center. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to share and download. Okay. And then let's go and move on to the embroidery software. Okay. So if you're using a different embroidery software, just remember, just follow along. Most embroidery softwares have the same features. We're going to be using the steel path and the complex fill. And then we'll go from there. We're going to bring in our PNG file. So what we're going to do is we're going to use our backdrop tool. So right there where it says backdrop tool, we're just going to hit the arrow, and then we're going to hit select. Okay, and all we're going to do is just adjust the lightness so we can zoom in, zoom out. Everything doesn't get pixelated when we're making this creation. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to start from the top, work our way down to the bottom. And that's how we're going to do it. And then we'll hit our slow redraw and see how this comes out. And then from here, so we're looking at two colors in the back, right? So you're looking at red, and then you're looking at black. And then you got all these little intricate designs in here. So in order for us to do this, I don't want to make a whole red layout and then a whole black layout on top of it. So we're going to make the red the border, but we got to make the black first. Okay, so when we do the stitch out, it is going to create the whole black layer for us. Okay, so let's go ahead and go to our complex fill, and then we're just going to zoom in. Okay, and if you never digitized before, just follow along, stop the video, pause it, and retrace your steps if I go too fast. Okay, so what I'm doing, I'm not picking any specific start. I'm just starting anywhere I think is appropriate. So all I'm going to do is just click in here, and I'm going to follow all the lines, okay, inside. We're basically tracing the black. Okay, and then I'm holding my shift key down because there's going to be some bends here. So when you hold the shift key, it creates the bends for you. Okay. And then I'm going to release right here. So that's going to be my last bend point that I want to do. So now it should just be a straight line, straight line, straight line, straight line, etc. Until you get to some bends again, then you want to hold your shift key again, like right here. Your control key, I'm sorry. Okay, we're almost done. All we're going to do is just follow along here, and then we're going to reach to where we started, and then our point where we started, and then we're just going to hover over that node. We're going to click on top of it, and we're going to hit our enter key. Boom. Okay, and then all I'm going to do is click my realistic toggle, and then we're going to get the view of what we just did. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to assign a color to it. So we want this color number 1. We want to change that to black. Okay, so here it is, color number 1. We're just going to double click, and we're going to change that to a black color. Right, and we're going to go back to our pick tool, and then from here you see this little eyeball right there. We're just going to close it. Okay, so that way we're going to erase it for right now. Okay, now we got the black done, and we're going to start from top to bottom. So what we're going to do here is we're going to use our steel tool right there, and we're going to go from left to right. So we're going to start here. Okay, this will be our first image. So all I'm going to do with the steel tool is I'm not going to start with the line on the outside. I'm going to actually start in the center. Okay, I found this easier, and then I'm just kind of like centering it right where I think where the center is going to be, right there where the end stop is, right there, there, and there, and I'm just going to hover over the end of that bar right there, and then I'm going to hit enter. Okay, click our pick tool again, and then we're going to go to our steel where it says width millimeters. We're going to change that to 1. Okay, all right, and since this is gold, we're going to change that to gold. Okay, so we're going to give that color number 2, and what we're going to do is we're going to go to our commands tool. We're going to change this to color number 2, apply, and then we're going to click on the color, and we're going to change it to a gold. Okay, so let's find a gold, Vegas gold, right there. Okay, and then all we're going to do is we're going to Control C, Control V. We're going to bring that bad boy over here, and then we're going to hit flip up here. Okay, and then we're just going to straighten it out. Okay, we're just going to go to our steel tool, and then this time same thing. We're going to start from the center here, here, here. Hold your control key to get the bends. Release, center, center, and then we're just going to drop it right at the end. Okay, we're going to hit enter. All right, so let's go ahead and give that assignment color number 2. So we're going to change that, color number 2. Okay, we're going to make this one a complex fill, so we're just going to click on here, the corner, and we're going to just follow along. Okay, we're going to hold our control key, follow the bends. Okay, control. Okay, and then we're just going to do these. Okay, and to save you time, we're just going to take these two. We're going to hold our shift key. We're going to Control C, Control V. And we're going to bring these over here. Oops. Control, we're going to bring them over here. So let's bring them right here. And then we're going to flip them. And then bring them up. Okay, and then we're just going to select all of our pieces here. All right, and then we're going to change them to color number 2. Okay. All right, and then we're going to use our complex fill for this one. This is going to be fairly easy. Just follow along here. And then we're going to take these two, hit controls, hit your shift key, control C, control V, grab them over here, and then flip them, straighten them out. Okay, and we're just going to select them. All right, and then we're going to assign color number 2, and we are golden. All right, last one we're going to do is this one. So we'll do a still with this one. We're just going to go in the center, hold your control key, right there, and let's see if we we'll go to our pick tool. Let's do number 2. Okay, hit apply. All right, and then we're going to change that to yellow, to gold. I mean, we'll go ahead and assign that color number 2. Okay. All right, so from these right here, we don't really want them to have like a run-on stitch. We just want them to stitch out. So what we're going to do is we are going to go to our push and pull, our underlay, and then we're going to remove the underlay. Okay, hit apply. That way they don't have no underlay. It's just going to do straight stitching. All right, next one. All right, let's go right to left, left to right. We're going to do the red here. Okay, and we're going to go to our complex fill. Okay, and then we're going to give that new color. We're going to make that color number 3. That's going to be red. Okay, we'll just double click on red, or click it, and then we'll just click on red. We'll do electric red, and we are going to control C, control V. Bring this bad boy over here, flip it. Okay. All right, and we're good. And then now what we're going to do is do the earring here. Okay, we're going to do our steel tool here. So let's go into the outer. Hold your control key. Okay, enter. All right, and let's change that to 1. Hit your pick tool. We're going to change that to 1. Hit apply. Let's go and change that to 2. All right, let's go and change that to number 2 here. Okay, hit apply. All right, and then all we're going to do is just shrink it down a little bit since it wasn't really perfect. Okay, that looks good. We'll make that gold as well. So let's go ahead and assign that to number 2. Okay, and then we're going to control C, control V, bring that bad boy right there. And then look at that. That looks great. Okay, so for this section, what we're going to do is we're going to break it in half. So that way we're not running a third embroidery on top of the mask and on top of here. We don't want to get thread breaks. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to make this mask half. The face we're going to do half. Okay, we're going to do it like right here. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to make one side a little bit longer than the other so that way it overlaps. Okay, and here's the reason why, so you'll see in a little bit. So when it's embroidering, it's going to be tucked underneath one. So what we'll do is we'll just start from the center here. Okay, and then we're going to work our way up. Okay, and then we're just going to follow the path. right there. Okay, I'm going to hit enter. All right, and then from here, what I'm going to do is this time I'm going to do the same thing. This time I'm going to do it right here, right there, and I'm going to hover over it just like that, and I'm going to do this side. And right there. Okay, we're going to hit enter. All right, see how that hovers over it now? So now you always have that overlap, so it'll look nice once it presents itself. Okay. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to we'll change that color, both colors. So we're going to hit our pick tool. We're going to get both of them. We're going to assign that to color number. So we already got 1, 2, 3. We're going to do color number 4. Okay, and then we're going to change those to a kind of like a turquoise, I guess. All right, and then what we'll do now is the eyes. So let's go to our complex fill. All right, and we're going to do Control C, Control V. All right, don't reinvent the wheel. Just try to minimize as much as work as possible. Okay, so you start to learn how to use, get real good efficiency when you're doing digitizing. Because the faster you can get this done, the better. All right, you can get your embroidery started and start making you some money. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to go back to our complex fill, and we are going to, let's go ahead and erase one of them so at least we can see what's going on here. Let's erase that one. Okay, so we started from here, so we're just going to go here. So let's do from this point here, right there. Okay, and then right there, and then we're going to go underneath. Right there, right there, right there. And release. Hit enter. Okay. All right, let's assign that to color number 4. Okay, and then let's see where it's at right here. Let's erase that for right now. Let's get these little sections here. Okay, we're going to complex fill this little area here. Hold your shift key. Release. Release. Enter. Let's click Control C, Control V. Bring that bad boy here and flip it. And straighten it out. Okay, and then we're going to leave those black, but these two, we're going to turn them red. Okay, we're going to make the eyes red, so we'll give that color number 3. Okay, and then let's go ahead and bring in the other part that we closed out. All right, so now what we're going to do is we will do the inside here. Okay, enter. And then we're going to do, let's go ahead and get rid of that one right real quick. And then let's do this one. All right, let's bring that other color back in. Okay, and we're going to do, okay, we're going to click on this color here. Actually, that color, we're going to change that to number 4. Okay. All right, let's bring in the other color, the mask. Starting to look really, really crazy now. All right, last thing what we're going to do is we're going to do these insides here, the red ones. Okay. All right, so let's go to complex fill. All right, and then we'll go ahead and we're going to give those three. We're going to make them red. Make that color number 3. Okay, and then oops, we're going to hit our shift key again. We're going to do Control C, Control V. Bring those over here, and we're going to flip them. Okay. All right. And then lastly, we got these 2 little pieces. I don't think I'm gonna do anything with those, because the image is gonna be so small. I don't think that it's gonna be necessary to do that. All right. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and bring in our black background and check that out. That looks dope. Okay. So last thing what we're gonna do is we will do the border. So, but before we do anything, let's go ahead and hover over everything, and then let's go to our commands tool, and we're going to remove the jump stitches here. We're going to start command jump, in command trim, hit apply. Okay. And then we'll go ahead and go to, I don't like the overlap right there. So what we'll do is let's see if we can just order this to the top. So let's go to order, to the front, and that looks a lot better. Okay, that looks a lot better. All right, and then what we'll do now is we're just going to create the border on top. Okay, so let's go ahead and go to our, we're going to right click, we're going to go to utilities, we're going to create a border. Oh, nice. Okay, and then we'll make that number 1. Okay. And then what we'll do is we're going to change that to give that assignment number 3. Make that red. Nice. All right. See how that looks? Okay. And I think we are good, guys. I think we are really, really good. Okay. So last thing, final step is we need to create the patch. So we're going to make this a round patch. So we're going to go use our ellipse tool, and we are going to click here. We'll just start in the center here. We're just going to hold our shift key down. Okay. And then we're going to bring this bad boy right there. All right. And then we're going to convert this into a complex fill. Okay. And then we're going to give a border around this. We're going to right click again. We're going to go to utility, create a border. Okay. And then from the border, so all we'll do is just click in the middle and delete it. All right. And then from here, it's on 2, so we can do a 3. See how the 3 comes out. 3 looks good. All right. The border, we don't have to keep it black. We can actually make it red. So let's give it an assignment of 3. Okay, so let's go ahead and take this to the embroidery machine, and I'll see you guys in the back. Okay, so I got it all set up in here, and let's go ahead and do the trace. Okay, it looks like we're in the patch area. I just want to double check here. Perfect. We're good. All right, let's go ahead and hit start. look at that, guys. That came out the beast. That looks cool. All we're gonna do now is just cut around it. All right, guys, and there you go. Look at how sharp that looks. So I hope y'all enjoyed this video, and if you did, please remember to like, share, subscribe, leave a comment. I greatly appreciate it. Thanks again for watching. Y'all have a blessed week, blessed day, and we'll see you guys back on my next video next week. And peace.